There we go. Good. Yay. It wasn't streaming there for a second. It is now. Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our 11 a.m. Super Chat live stream. Whether you watch it live or later, I am glad you are here. The moon is in Cancer today, which in general it tends to be an emotional day. Even just basic zodiacal astrology, any of the times that the moon is in a water sign, emotions tend to run a little high or a little bit deep, sometimes both. Cancerian sometimes can be a little choppy, right? But Cancerian in particular, because it is ruled by the moon is waning, in challenging time. So I need to. So I don't even know if you're seeing me while it is saying I don't know if you're seeing me while it says my connection is unstable. Your connection is unstable. We will try to reconnect you. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. So here's what I recommend. Turn off all of your devices that are attached to Wi-Fi. That's what I've done. Even things that aren't attached to Wi-Fi, I have turned off right now, because it's definitely slowing things down. So rather than get upset about that and frustrated, which I have the opportunity to focus on our breath. So glitchy thing going on, and we're just going to have to roll with it. What else can we do? So when it glitches, when it freezes, breathe. All right. Take the opportunity to breathe. I'm not saying ignore your feelings of frustration. Lord knows I get very frustrated, but I realize that there's an opportunity there for compassionate with myself for that, because consistent frustration over something I can't change, it really does accept the things I can't. I can't change the internet connections. I don't have the skill or the know-how, and plus I don't think we can. I think it's just a matter of traffic. Notice last night's stream, though, I didn't catch a glitch. So that's why I'm glad to do in 11 a.m. I'll just eliminate those altogether and just do the 11 p.m. Maybe that's the right thing to do. We shall see. Getting down to business, though, the emotional business. I have big chunks of selenite. Hello, my name is Mal. I'm a selenite addict. I've got like one of these. Look, it's my third eye. My third eye is gone all cloudy. Oh, look, it is okay. And my right eye is gone all cloudy. I love, and I've got a massage. I could stick it up my nose. I got a massage tool. It's got a little piece of fluoride on here. I mean, I know not everybody has. I know not everybody has selenite. I don't understand why. Oh, it feels good. But it is a very, very powerful mineral. It is not of the quartz family. It is of the gypsum family. And I love me some selenite. Balances and aligns all the chakras subtly, not like, the things that I do for self-care, like you can work my reflexology points in my hands. So hey Donald, how are you? More money. If I had my own internet company, maybe I would. I don't know. Go figure. Sorry about the glitching. Nothing I can do about it. So what can we do? Well, I turn to the astrological symbolism of the time that we are in, at least for now. The thing about a Cancerian moon is that you have the opportunity to mother yourself, because Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, Capricorn the father. So you think of that unconditional love. Now, I've said this before. There's actually an astrologer who pointed it out to me. If you look at the sign of Cancer, it does look like a crab, right? You got the two little circles and then the shell above and the shell below. But if you look at it like a mother cradling a baby, right? It really does look that way. It's like, oh, sweetheart, what's the matter? My internet streams, no, it's glitching. That's why I don't have kids. But I certainly mother my cats. I am mama, because cats can't say papa. They go, rah. It's good enough for me. But what does it mean to mother ourselves? We could look at this a couple of different ways. Let's go through the elements. You can certainly mother yourself physically, and that's usually where people start, and it is a good place to start, right? Comfort food, if you have access to it. Snuggle up on the couch, rest, sleep, bathe yourself, pamper yourself. Now, isn't it interesting? The word pamper is also the name of a diaper, right? So just that basic stuff. I mean, obviously, none of us are going for manicure, pedicure, facial massage outside of our own homes. So we are sort of left to do these things for ourselves. Get yourself a little aromatherapy. This is a white sage clearing spray that I picked up in Saratoga. I used to use Sebastian's Nook, my friend Michelle Cassone, owner and creator of Sebastian's Nook. Oh, so nice. It's so refreshing. Little things like that, aromatherapy, right? If you have sage oil or sage anything, right? Things that you would do for a child to what? Soothe them, calm them down. Oh, I'm all saged up now like a chicken ready to be baked. I remember getting baked vaguely. That being said, what is it then like to go from earth to water, right? I'm going to work backwards through the elemental spectrum. What does it mean to mother yourself emotionally? It has to do with letting yourself feel what you're feeling. Now, of course, I guess that depends on your mother, like how you were raised. Were you allowed to feel your feelings openly, or did you have to squirrel them away until nobody was looking? I certainly did growing up, because I came from a very divine masculine family, very intellectual, very active, very business oriented, and very strict in some ways and not so strict in others. So I really had to take to emotional healing work step by step as young as like 17, 18 years old, actually, as soon as I moved out of the house and went to college, particularly because I went to a performing arts college and took acting classes, and I began to notice the students around me really losing it in acting classes and in movement classes, that these emotions would overcome them, where it was no longer acting, it was what I would call now shadow possession, emotional possession. What you repress, you are eventually possessed by. So, you know, I thankfully, through the work of a spiritual teacher and channel, got tuned into inner child work, and I took classes in Somerville once a week when in the 80s, took the tea out there. But then, you know, took that research further, looked into John Bradshaw. I think I saw him on Oprah at some point. But even then, the work of the inner child was then pretty much everywhere in the late earlies and the late 80s and the early 90s, right? So to the point where by mid 90s, it became a bit of a joke. It became very distorted, where people were using what their inner child was going through in order to beat other people up, control, and manipulate them. What is called woundology, where it's like, don't you know my inner child feels sensitive about that? Go ahead, stand on your head and gargle peanut butter. My inner child, you know, and it's like, that's not what it's about. It was a complete distortion. And became a joke, even on like Saturday Night Live and stuff. And that disheartened me because I knew how much it helped me. But it is very much talking to your heart, giving yourself the space to feel. And we talked about this last night quite a bit. Not just feel, but allow yourself to feel and express what you're feeling in a safe, boundaried, healthy way. Now, stick a pin in that for a second. I said Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, Capricorn the father. Well, the father is the one that gives boundaries, unconditional support. The Divine Mother, unconditional love. The Divine Father, unconditional support. Not unhealthy support, as in codependence, but in giving that support, those boundaries. So this is not just about mothering yourself, it's also about fathering yourself. But you never hear that phrase. And I think part of that is because the toxicity of the patriarchal system, the government, very patriarchal, the social structure, very patriarchal. I mean, it was never a matriarchy that burned witches, right, or repressed women. So we have a little hesitancy towards that. But I think that's what happens when you do the inner child work without clear boundaries about this child is in my heart is allowed to feel everything, but is not allowed to do harm as a result, right? Just because I'm angry doesn't mean I'm allowed to punch somebody. Just because my inner child is sad doesn't mean it's allowed to drink and drug or eat or sex addiction or what have you. No, we're here to heal it as we feel it. And then, of course, with those safe boundaries, particularly Capricorn, slow and steady wins the race. To be gentle. You don't force a child through its emotions, and you don't chain it to a chair until it's done crying. Right? That didn't happen to me, but I got sent to my room plenty of times. You want to be emotional? You go to your room. You come out when you're done. Which is funny because that's sort of what I'm doing now, but in a much more loving way. So we can do a little inner child meditation stuff together today, if you'd like. It's easy enough to do. But get that none of us were trained, who gets trained this way, to deal and heal with our emotions from a young age. It's something we can really only discover when we are adults. And usually because we grew up in societal, if not tribal systems that did not support our emotions. In other words, we got the message, your emotions aren't important. Well, guess what? Your emotions are important, probably now more than ever. I would like you to think of planet Earth. Right? Whole planet. Just visualize it in your mind. I mean, here, looks something like this. Right? Visualize planet Earth. And all of the people walking on the planet have energy fields, chakra systems, the tube of the Sushumna, right? The Ida, the Pingala, if you study the yoga stuff, the energy currents in the body. Your Sushumna tube is about that. If you can kind of do like, okay, that's the width of it, top of your head all the way out through the base of your spine, which is supposed to allow energy to freely move through you. But imagine that as like a clear channel or a valve on planet Earth. So if people are walking on planet Earth, and then a tragedy happens, something terrifying happens, most people, and I do mean most, like the majority of people, because they don't have the permission, the freedom to feel what they're feeling. Emotional freedom is not about freedom from emotions. It's having the freedom to feel them in a healthy way. But since a lot of people don't know about that stuff, what do they do with those feelings? Well, I said it before, they repress it. They push it down. What do? They drink, they drug, they binge TV, they Netflix binge. Nothing wrong with any of those things individually. Like, I love a good party. I really do. My patron god is Dionysus. But even he's like, not now. Not now, bigger fish to fry. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. So people are pushing it down, but then you have the people, the divine feminines, the first wavers, the empathic, the energy sensitive, the healers, the ones doing yoga, the ones praying, the ones doing meditation, the ones who are in this spiritual awakening thing, who are clearing themselves out. So guess what happens when everybody else represses their stuff? It goes down into the Earth's electromagnetic field and pops up through the nearest available valve. It's completely impersonal. Nothing feels more personal when you're going through it because you believe what you are feeling is your own. Some of it is, otherwise it wouldn't resonate, right? Like for instance, let's say, I don't know, you're watching something on Netflix and it's a comedy, and all of a sudden these waves of sadness start showing up, right? It doesn't usually hit you all at once, but it's like water levels rising, like the tides, right? The moon pulling the tides starts coming up, and all of a sudden you're emotional. You don't know why. Like, what the hell's going on? Now, when this happens to me, I still forget. I'm like, am I losing it? What the hell is going on? Even though I know I'm empathic, I'm a Pisces moon. I can feel everybody's everything again, which is why I can do the readings on YouTube with such accuracy. I'm just tuning to the quantum field. The guides are tuning me to specific zodiacal groups, sun, moon, rising, whatever. So I'm able to get that information and with my guides spell it out in a way to give people clarity, guidance, and grace. Never telling them what to do, but like GPS, that's what really a reading is. So it's important to know that if you are energetically empathic, sensitive, good morning, sweetheart. Good morning, Dee Hansel. Hi, off to a slow start this morning. God morning, good morning. Buenos dias, darling. That it's important to get that this is our service. This is what we are good at by mothering divine feminine ourselves, right? By giving ourselves the space to breathe, the space to feel, to be kind and compassionate. Now, oh, it's over on the couch. I told you I've been saying a lot because when I find something that works, I share it. Matt Kahn's new book, The Universe Always Has a Plan, 10 Golden Rules of Letting Go. The first golden rule is you've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. And really, that's about being compassionate with yourself, truly compassionate. Now, as to why you've done nothing wrong, when obviously any of us can look over our shoulders just in relationships alone and say, all right, I've done nothing wrong. Why was I with that schmuck or schmuckette? As schmuckette. I made a new word. Schmuckini. It's a little schmuck. Schmuckietta. Yay, you made it just in time. Good, good, good. So of course the ego is going to resist that like crazy. But as I said to my stepfather when I was up there in Saratoga a week or so ago, I said to him, you can't, if a 2-year-old doesn't understand algebra, doesn't mean the kid's wrong. Right? Just doesn't know yet, right? In order to form antibodies, grow and evolve, right? It's the grain of sand in the belly of the oyster that makes the pearl of wisdom, right? That everything from a soul perspective is here to help us grow, heal, learn, become. Then you really didn't know any better. And the choices and decisions that you made, you didn't do anything wrong. You were doing the best that you can. So if you were doing the best that you can, you didn't do anything wrong. So then whatever you're feeling isn't wrong. It's just not all yours. And I think that's why people repress it. Because, oh no, but what is this? Something's wrong. Push it down, push it down, push it down, push it down. And that's why it can be so intense for us during and any astrological phase, really any day of the week. It's not dependent upon astrology. But since there are billions of people tuning themselves to the cycles of the moon, it is something that we can be aware of, hence mothering yourself. Now, I've never had a child in this life. I have cats. I'm good with cats. We speak the same language. We're very good at that, my boys and I. I've always had cats in my life. I've had a black cat in my life since I was 12 years old. No shit. Oh, wow, 40 years. It'll be 40 years I've had black cats in my life. Along with tarot. That's weird. You didn't make that connection. But for those of you who have children, what are they like when they're babies and they can't tell you what's wrong? Just screaming, right? You try it. What do you do first? You go to the physical, right? You go to the physical. It's like, well, okay, maybe they're hungry. They don't want to eat. Maybe they're tired. No, they ain't sleeping. Oh, no, it's not that. What do you do then? Oh, I know it's annoying, but what do you do? I mean, you love these. They're your. I'm talking if they're your children. Look, like I said, I don't have children. I never give parental advice. I'm using this as metaphor. All right. I will never teach parenting. I think that's the most hypocritical thing in the world for people who don't have children, to tell people with children what to do. Oh, please. Now, I understand if you're a behavioral psychologist, and done the research, you might have some insight. But until you actually have one of your own, a lot of that insight flies out the freaking window and the adrenaline kicks in, from what I've seen. But what do you do once the physical is cleared, right? It's like, okay, they're not hungry. They just got up from a nap. They didn't poo or pee themselves. They don't have a rash. They don't have a fever. Why are they crying? But it's a baby. Well, honestly, mother, I think you're projecting your emotional issues on me. No, baby's not going to do that. I feel very upset about the political schemata going on on planet Earth right now. No, I'm not going to say that. What do you do? What do you do? You go, oh, honey, it's okay. It's okay. I love you. It's okay, sweetheart. I love you. That is exactly what you do for the child of your own heart, for these emotions. Consider this. Even with a physical, literal child that you give birth to, or as a father that you're parenting, right? Give birth to it, but even if it's adopted, it doesn't matter. Even if you're babysitting, it doesn't matter. But those children are of your own creation, right? In the sense that you donated DNA or you adopted, you take responsibility. Now, just that word responsibility means the ability to respond, not react. Not reactability. We all react first. That's the reflex. It's okay. It's then to respond, usually from a place of love, like first responders. They're coming from a place of care and compassion, usually. These emotions, in a way, are your responsibility. They are like the children in that they are in your energy field. That why aren't we feeling other people's stuff 24/7, 365? Right? How come we're not so empathic and so sensitive that there's not one waking or sleeping moment where we are not jostled by the empathic flow of it all? Because their back itches and we give them a pacifier? Well, you know, I'm using it as metaphor. You sort of get the idea, though, to support that child within yourself is to do just that, your inner child. We're not feeling everybody's everything 24/7 because the divine is sort of portioning out what is safe for each person to feel. In other words, if you're feeling it, it is safe to feel it. Good morning, Ashley. Let's see, we're just checking to see if there are any questions here. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my eye on if there are specific questions coming up in the chat. So if you can get that I'm safe to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling, and you know, safe may be relative to you, but if it's coming up, it's time. Like all of this stuff is part of divine timing. It's a pressure bubble coming up from the collective. People are pushing it down, and if you're a healer, you're intuitive, really, even if you're just a water sign, it's going to bubble up through you, but not that it's limited to astrological charts in that way at all. I'm just saying, if you're aware of it through your astrological chart, it's probably a good idea. Not only am I a Pisces moon, but I am Leo rising, which makes me a Pisces moon in the 8th house ruled by Scorpio. So I really do feel stuff from the collective unconscious, the underworld. That's why I'm at home in the underworld, very emotionally at home, through embracing the shadow, the shamanic descent, the dark night of the soul. These are friends of mine, and very, very powerful, transformative ways of healing. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Well, yeah, some of it I would, so they wouldn't be my worst enemies, right? If they could really, what makes people do harsh, cruel things? Hurt people, hurt people. But as I just read in Matt Kahn's book, free people, free people. So what I'm doing, I have the emotional freedom. Whatever comes up, I'm going to feel it, but I'm not going to post it all over social media. I'm not going to blame anybody else for it. I used to. I used to blame it on my childhood. I used to blame it on my parents. I used to blame it on my brother. I used to blame it on society. The thing about blame is our major cause of sadness and unhappiness. You can't be unhappy without blame, right? So rather to not even blame yourself, to say, oh, I'm feeling this for some purpose, not reason, purpose. Let me breathe through this. Let me take a moment. Let me mother myself. Let me go rest. Let me go lay down. Let me care for me. And maybe just let me cry my eyes out. Up in my bed right now, well, I have 3 cats up in the bed right now, but I have a king-size bed. I needed one for all them big-ass meatloaf-sized cats. Huge. There is a big bath towel, terry cloth, blue at the moment. I wash them every other day, switch them out. Just at the ready. Like, I was blowing through boxes of tissue so quickly, it was like ridiculous. It's like I was a teenager, you know what I mean? Crying this stuff out. And as a result, I'm able to do the work that I do, that there is benefit. It clears your nervous system. Think of a nervous system on fire, a nervous system inflamed. That's what we get like. And that's what the world is like right now. And interesting, the people in charge are the ones who are the most inflamed, maybe not making the wisest decisions on planet Earth. Why? Because they're under pressure. So this is how we can serve them. And since we're sheltering in place, why not, if you are not sheltering in place alone, I am, so I've got more availability to do this, say to them, I'll be back. I need a break. I need some solitary time. I don't like saying alone time or lonely. Lonely time sounds horrible. Alone time's not much better, but solitary. I just need a little time for myself. Going to process a little bit. Going to go pray. Going to go meditate. Find my center. I'll be back. Give me a half hour or so. Because that's the thing. When you allow the emotions without, maybe not the first time you really allow them to come up, but you give them that space. You give them the breath. They tend to move through you quickly. What would have taken you months to process, you can often do in 5 minutes. And a 5-minute cry, it's long. You realize you can watch the clock and be like, this is the longest thing I've ever done. I was already feeling emotional simmering this morning. Yeah. And because of the work that we did last night, I believe, or my experience of calling in the archangels and all that stuff. By the way, how's that archangel call last night? It's been a hot minute since I've done that. Really asking for the help of the divine. And that's what they're there for. They're there to help us do that. So what we're going to do, because we're about halfway through this one, I'm going to say an opening prayer. I know I didn't start with an opening prayer. I'm going to do a little prayer. And then we're going to go in and check in on that inner child in what I call an inner child check or an inner child chat. Now, since you're all in your homes, on your devices, maybe you might want to just look around. I mean, if you're home alone, obviously, it's not an issue. But maybe take a moment to just secure your environment, right? And if you really can't do that, if it's just everybody's up in your face, I mean, social distancing at home with people you've been with for 2 weeks or so, it's probably not that much of an issue. But if you can take some space, do. Just to even allow to catch a whiff. Because when we bring our attention, attention, to what rises, it is like light, right? Into the emotion, which is like water. And it begins evaporating the water into water vapor, steam, and up it comes and out. So we breathe and we allow, we give it room, we give it words, so that the baby inside of us, which by the way, the baby it's appeared to me at different ages, even different genders at different times. And it's an act of unconditional love that then we can begin experiencing hope. You see, we're going to end today with a prayer for the grace of hope, the mother grace of the maiden, the mother and the crone grace. Hope is hard. Interesting, that's the meditation series that Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey are serving right now for free. But hope in our times can be really hard because we hope but we don't believe, which is what false hope is. I heard that from Deepak today. I was like, that is what false hope is, where you hope, but you don't believe. The child of our hearts believes with all its heart, fear or love, right? So as you help it move through its fears, you help it gently, gently, gently express these harder emotions. There is more room for that child to feel safe. And once that child feels safe, it is willing to see the world with fresh eyes. That's why, a child really is unafraid until it learns fear. Emotional baggage starts very, very young. So this is about rehabilitation to put us back in a way to our original settings, yet at a level higher, right? Good morning. I watched it this AM. Truly powerful, right? Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I mean, I knew they were going to call through me. I just didn't know they were going to do the full-on archangelic hallelujahs and all of that. So let's say a prayer. Take a minute. Check in with yourself. Get yourself physically comfortable. I always start that way, maybe because I'm an earth sign. But start with getting physically comfortable so the body isn't distracting. And if you're in chronic pain, first of all, I'm sorry. If you're in any kind of chronic pain at all physically, but do the best you can to just settle in, get comfortable. If you like, close your eyes, not essential, but helpful. And breathe. And I ask the universe to work through me to speak every word, that it be truly helpful, that it be filled with guidance and grace for our own individual healing and the healing of all, under grace and in perfect ways. So mote it be. And breathe. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, we surrender this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes. May you teach us how to simultaneously mother and father ourselves, that we may love what rises within us unconditionally, that we may care for this child of the heart, that we may be restored to some innocence, that we may be channels of the grace of hope, but not at the expense of this child, that this child be given the space, the love it needs from the Divine Mother within us, and that it be given the unconditional support and boundaries that it needs from the Divine Father within us, so that the Divine Child may feel safe enough and loved enough to release what it is holding on to, and therefore help clear the fields, not just within this body that we are in, not just within our small group of friends or our family, not even just for all of humanity, but for all of life and planet Earth herself, for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Now, if you like, just to help you focus, place a hand upon your heart. You can do both hands, just center of the chest. I know, like Pledge of Allegiance, if you're from America, is to the left, but shoot for the center, your breastbone, your sternum. All right, I'm getting the guidance. I'm just going to talk to my child out loud. I usually do out loud, but if I'm in public, even in line somewhere or driving, I will do it silently. And I'll put nice gaps in between it. So if you want to repeat it back, you can, silently or aloud, but certainly there's no script here. Say what you need to say to this child. And before we do this, keep in mind that you don't have to feel the love for this child. You just need to mean it. You just need to mean what you're saying. You don't need to feel it. You just need to mean it. So here we go. I'll start with 3 or 4 nice, full, deep breaths. Hey, sweetheart. I'm here. You want to come out? It's safe. We're on camera, but it's safe. I've got you. Just want to check in on you. How you feeling? And I can give this child a voice very easily. You don't know. It's a lot, Mama. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know, baby. I know it's a lot. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. It's so scary. I just want to hide. I just want to run away. No, sweetheart. I wish we could. I just don't think it'll work. It's okay. I love you. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to be afraid. I know we've been told we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be tough. We're not supposed to feel what we're feeling, but honey, I don't think that's true. I don't think it ever was. But I'm here. Your feelings are important. Feelings are important to me. I'm so sorry. My beautiful one. My sweetheart. It's okay to be afraid. Everybody is. And I love that you are sweet and caring enough to be afraid. It's okay that you don't know what to do. Nobody really does. This isn't a simple time we're in. Look, no matter what happens, I love you. You'll never be alone again. Ever since we reconnected, I just need you to tell me what you're feeling. Just need you to tell me what you need. And we really can't run away. I wish we could, if it would help. I really wish we could hide and do the things we used to do to make the pain go away, but it never really went away, did it, that way? There's nothing wrong with feeling what you're feeling. Sweetheart, you've done nothing wrong. You're a good kid. You're beautiful. You're sweet. You're sensitive. Those are good things. You're as the gods created us. You can love more than most people, can't you? That's a superpower. That's a healing power. I love you. I really do. No matter what comes, no matter what goes, no matter what happens in the world, I love you. No matter what anyone says or anyone does, I'm here. And I will keep you safe the best that I can. And when you need to cry, we cry. I'll feel it all with you. You're not even alone in that. And when you need to shake because you're afraid, when you're scared, I'll shake with you. And when you get angry and frustrated and you just want to punch a wall, it's okay to feel that, but we're not going to punch a wall, honey. You'll hurt yourself. I'll make sure that we're learning more and more together, but I need you through this. I need you to be with me. And I will do what I can to make you safe, but you have to know it's safe to feel what you're feeling. And if you don't, that's okay. We're not going to feel it all at once. This isn't a race. This isn't homework. I'm not even trying to heal you or change you. I'm just here to love you. So I'm very sorry that I've chosen other people over you. I'm very sorry that I did things that scared you, even though you were screaming at me that you were terrified. And I'm very sorry that I put us at risk. Please forgive me. I didn't know you were in there. I didn't know how important you are to our happiness. I didn't know that our innocence, your innocence, was an invaluable treasure. I just wasn't told that. I didn't know. But I know now. I love you. My sweet, beautiful, creative, innocent angel of my heart. I love you. I love you. I love you. Just breathe with me, baby. I love you. It's okay. It's okay. When you're ready, we'll find hope again. Hope that it's all going to work out somehow. The world will be different, but that it'll all work out somehow. And that we'll get what we need. Maybe not always what we want, but we will get what we need. And it's okay to want what we want. It's okay for you to dream of a better world, of a better life, of the love that we want from others in different ways. But the love that you need, I've got that for you. The love that you absolutely need, like breath, like oxygen, I've got that. We can always start again. You can trust me, and if you don't, that's okay too. That'll come little by little, maybe. But I want you to be happy when you're ready to be happy. None of this is your fault. You've done nothing wrong. Even those that appear like they did something wrong, they didn't know. Nobody does. And it's okay for you to be angry and frustrated at them too, but you know what? There are little kids inside of them too that are just as scared, just as sad, just as heartbroken. And maybe me loving you, helping you, supporting you can help them. Maybe if just by our own happiness. And we will be happy again. The world will be happy again, and then something else is going to happen, because that's how it goes here. But that doesn't make the happy moments any less, really. And really, even the unhappy moments make us grow. And it's not easy. But I'm here. And I love you. Sweet child, I love you. How you feeling, sweetheart? A little better? You're such a good kid. Oh, I love you. I'll check in on you in a little bit, okay, baby? You go rest. Yeah, we'll watch cartoons later. Well, that. All right, honey, I love you. Let me know if you need me. Sweetheart, I love you. That's it. That's it. That's how it go. Oh, man, I really. Where's my terry cloth when I need it? If that stopped some kid somewhere from hurting themselves or someone else, hey, if that stopped an adult somewhere from hurting themselves or someone else, worth it. This isn't a healing technique. This is a relationship. This will make you the mate of your own soul. You just did. You just mated with your own soul. Imagine your higher self, your guardian angel, your true self, whatever you want to call it, holding you like that while you hold this child. It's like Russian stacking dolls, right? Multi-dimensional love, unconditional love. Yeah, made me cry. Good. I mean, not good, not like that, but moved it through you. What this is going to do is give you, wetter eyes, but a calmer nervous system, a stronger immune system, more compassion for others. Because we're all doing the best that we can. And really, you've done nothing wrong. Oddly, no one's done anything wrong. And I know it doesn't look that way, but when you consider that child in their heart, if they don't know that child is in there, and the pain of that child is making them lash out, what else can they do? I don't know. What can we do? What can I do? I just did it. And we'll do it again. And again. And again. This is not a healing technique, it's a relationship. Lots of water coming on there. D. Hansel. Gonna give you a minute to get it together. Oh, thank God I'm not wearing makeup yet. How do you feel? How do I feel? More relaxed. More here now. More chill. You're welcome, Angel. I just saw the thank you. You may say that's really hard. It's hard work. You're worth it. You might say, oh, this healing stuff is just really hard. Well, the alternative is harder, long term. And what if this is purifying the oceans, right? Purifying water. Yeah. I feel so much better. Thank you. You're very, very welcome, Malenka. Thank you, Karen. Now, we just made room. And the universe abhors a vacuum. So let's bring some hope in. Now, I really am going to recommend that you check out the Oprah Winfrey, Deepak Chopra stuff. Glad to get it out of the system, right? Yeah, up and out. up and out. It's like if you've ever done a dietary detox. I did one with bentonite, which is clay, and psyllium husk shakes, and it pulled parasites out of my body. I pooped worms. Freaked me out, but the mantra was better out than in, better out than in, better out than in, better out than in. It freaked me out. It was in the 90s when I had the guts to do those things. The plus session one of Matt Kahn have been a great morning. Oh, good. Plus, you've been working the Matt Kahn stuff, yeah. I need my 11-year-old son to watch this. You're such an amazing healer that is teaching me to be a better person. Oh, and a better mother. Well, because, look, how many of us were taught this? I literally was told, you want something, you're going to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. And my father was, everybody thinks their father was crazy. I have a doctor's note, so to speak. Geminis. That's why I kid about Geminis. The kid about Geminis for this kid side of me. But since we've made some room, so to speak, energetically, let's end this with a prayer for the Mother Grace of Hope. Now, if you have the book Words of Grace that I wrote, it's on there's one on page 22 and I think one on page 25, sort of bookends, willing to be shown, right? And nobody knows. That's why humility is so important right now, not humiliation. Humility is the shield against humiliation. Because if you know you don't know, how can you be humiliated? It's when you think you know, proven wrong. That's when it's humiliating. The crone grace of endurance, to call upon the strength of the ancient wisdom, to call upon the strength of a love beyond this world, to endure what is necessary for us to heal, knowing that we don't know. But in between those two is the grace of the Mother grace of hope, which springs eternal, which, according to Saint Teresa of Avila, the only thing we are entitled to is hope. And hope is an attribute of the soul, so it's always within us. It's just obscured like the sun on an overcast day. But it's always there. So let's call upon it. Please take a nice deep breath. Get me some selenite for this. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, please open me to the Mother Grace of Hope. Great Divine Mother of all, whether we call you Mary, Freya, Frigga, Hera, Isis, Great Corn Mother, the Milky Way, hear our prayer. Your children reach out to you that we may be channels of the grace of hope. You know what's going on. Not only you see what's going on, you be what's going on. You are in all of life. You are all of life. Even in the very viruses themselves. Please grant us the grace of hope that this is happening for us, and to make us better, that we knew coming in to these born to be in this life, this can't go any other way. That we do want to be who we were born to be in this life, and so it can't go any other way. But Mama, grant us the grace of hope that we are in the right timeline for our own individual trajectories, and that there's a near infinite. But if we get to choose on any level, the one where more people live and heal, that we come out the other side of this in a new world, happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser. That this be more about the great awakening than Armageddon, where more people heal than die. And even those who die, help us remember the eternal nature of the soul, that we've all been on this planet and elsewhere over and over and over and over again. that maybe through this, may we have the hope that we become more spirit identified than body identified, and therefore acknowledging that we are all one spirit, all one heart. Grant us the grace of hope, that it be the golden thread through the labyrinth of this time with the twists and turns where we can't even see where we're going. Along with that, please grant us the grace of faith, like a torch, to just light the first few steps ahead of us as we go, that we may be given the guidance and grace, not just for our own journeys, but for those around us, that we may lead by example, knowing that we don't know. Grace of humility, but willing to be shown, that we may have the crone grace of endurance to call upon the strength of the divine within us to endure whatever is necessary for us to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, and be the best that we can be, fulfilling our roles in the divine plan. But above all else right now, this Cancerian moon, where the tide is high, the grace of hope, that there is a future worth surviving for, that this is all for a grand purpose to make everyone better, happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser. But we can't see it right now. And in that hope, we can uplift others, that we can rise into our superpowers, our holy powers, our spiritual powers more than ever before. And that we can make you proud as your children who grew, who led their brothers and sisters who had no idea, by example, through our love, through our power, and through our wisdom, united as one. Oh, thank you, Mother. I love you. Thank you. So mote it be. Amen. Well, I sang last night. I cried this morning. The only thing left to do is get naked, but I'm not doing that on YouTube. They will definitely demonetize me if someone suggests I get an OnlyFans account. It's not gonna happen. We never say never. How y'all doing? How you doing? Oh, so glad my contact lenses are still in my eyes. I want to thank you all. I mean, please respond. Yeah, we went over an hour. Who cares? But let me know how you are doing. I do have a somewhat busy day ahead of me. I have a 2 p.m. client video call. I've got those videos to get done today. Free. Yeah. A vibration higher, blessed be. Morgan. Oh, sorry, Margaret. Margaret Ames. Thank you. You are welcome. Now you've had trouble seeing before. I go like that. It's a pretty face. Remember, it's also that child that has the best sense of humor. And mine loves the F word. I don't know about yours, but my inner child loves that F word. All right, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to go wash my face. I'm going to blow my nose, probably another cup of coffee, maybe some lunch. But then it's back to work. It is, after all, Tuesday. Please do not hesitate to reach out. I am available for spiritual counseling. I mean, look, I'll be glad to read anybody who wants to be read, but it feels like my dominant skill right now is spiritual counseling, which is what we kind of did here, honestly. So let me sign off. We all have our lives to get back to comforted. Good. But now pass on that comfort. Comfort, in a way, is a spiritual gift that the more you give it away, the more of it you have. Your gifts are to be given away. It's the whole point why they're called spiritual gifts. Big up, quickie prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, please bless all who are watching this live and later, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may learn, that they may evolve, that they may both mother and father themselves through this, not just today, not just when the moon is in Cancer, but every day for the rest of their lives. To love that child within them, to take care of themselves, and please may they be blessed with all that they need before they even know they need it. So the moment they know they need it, there it is. Because it's all waiting for us. All we have to do is ask. Well, I'm asking for those who don't know to ask, and for those who can't. For the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of the day. But for now, say it with me. Hail, farewell, and blessed be. Bye.